Caitlin Clark has finally made her highly anticipated appearance on the New Heights podcast, as Jason Kelce disclosed that she's the most requested guest in the history of our show. The point guard for the Indiana Fever has had an exceptional inaugural season in the WNBA, capturing the Rookie of the Year accolade and setting multiple records in the process. Clark holds the distinction for the highest number of assists in a single season, the most points amassed by a rookie, and the fastest player to achieve 100 three-pointers in the history of the league. Her rapid ascent from a distinguished college basketball player to Time magazine's Athlete of the Year at merely 22 years old epitomizes her unwavering ambition for excellence. Clark's much-anticipated participation on New Heights allowed NFL icons Jason and Travis Kelce to express their enthusiasm regarding her appearance on the podcast. While introducing her, Jason acknowledged the strong demand from listeners for her presence, reciting a list of her recent accomplishments. The former Philadelphia Eagles player stated, "Alrighty, our guest today is a 6-foot guard from the University of Iowa. The NCAA all-time Division I scoring leader, the first pick of the WNBA draft, WNBA assist leader, All-Star, and 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year. She's the most requested guest in the history of our show and the Time magazine Athlete of the Year, Miss Caitlin Clark." Clark shared that few experiences excite her as much as the podcast, placing it at the top of my list. This remark amused Travis, who responded, "We made it, Jason." As the most sought-after guest on New Heights, Clark joins an illustrious roster of previous guests, including NFL legends Rob Gronkowski, Shannon Sharpe, Patrick Mahomes, and Hollywood personalities such as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Clark also admitted her steadfast loyalty to the Kansas City Chiefs kingdom, identifying Mahomes and Kelce as among her favorite athletes on the current Super Bowl winning roster. The 22-year-old stated, "My dad was a big Chiefs fan growing up, so people think I'm just a bandwagon fan. But I'm like, no, we were fans before Patrick and Travis. We were diehard, so all the success you've had has made it really enjoyable for us." Caitlin Clark provided a 2-word evaluation of her 2024 that encapsulates the WNBA sensation's remarkable year. The WNBA Rookie of the Year experienced a record-setting debut season in the league, with her influence evident both on and off the court. Clark has played a pivotal role in advancing women's basketball and sports overall, with her contributions recognized by several prestigious accolades. In addition to her league rookie honor, the Indiana Fever star was also selected as an All-Star and named to the All-WNBA First Team. Her off-court recognitions include being named AP Female Athlete of the Year and Time Athlete of the Year, as well as being featured in Forbes' The World's 100 Most Powerful Women for 2024. Clark contemplated an extraordinary year in the inaugural episode of the New Heights podcast for 2025, featuring Jason and Travis Kelce. When inquired about how she would characterize 2024, Clark responded, "I would describe it as life-changing. All in a positive sense. Circumstances can transform rapidly, as you both are aware. This is the nature of our world. Particularly with the influence of social media, individuals are exposed to a significant portion of your life, which contributes to the excitement and has led to numerous opportunities for me." Reflecting on her circumstances 1 year prior, as she was preparing to depart from Iowa and enter the professional league, Clark remarked, "It is astonishing to consider how much has changed in just a year. I was at the onset of my senior year. Although people recognized me and attended our games, the level of recognition I experience now was not as pronounced. That is what makes it particularly appealing. I also commenced a new chapter in my life by moving to Indianapolis. It is well established that Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark, represents a generational talent both on the basketball court and in terms of garnering public interest. This assertion is substantiated by the remarkable television viewership figures that Clark achieved, not only during her inaugural WNBA season with the Fever but also throughout her concluding season in college at the University of Iowa. Specifically, Clark's and the Hawkeyes' defeat in the 2024 NCAA National Championship game, against Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks, garnered a larger audience, 18.9 million viewers, than any WNBA match this year. Moreover, Clark's final NCAA game at Iowa surpassed not only most WNBA viewership but also excelled in television ratings across various sports. In a January 3 article, Anthony Krupe from Sportico stated that the 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship attracted a greater broadcast audience than any other sporting event, apart from football. Other notable highlights include South Carolina's 87-75 triumph over Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Women's National Championship game, a substantial draw which was also the sole college basketball event featured for 2024, Krupe reported. This game ranked as number 76 in the top 100 broadcasts of 2024. only football, encompassing both NFL and college, with a predominance of NFL, political broadcasts, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the Academy Awards achieved higher viewership than Clark's Iowa finale, as illustrated by a compelling graphic shared by Sportico on X on January 3. It will be intriguing to observe whether any of Clark's future games can rival the 2024 NCAA championship contest. We speculate that if her Fever team were to face Angel Reese's Chicago Sky in a forthcoming WNBA Finals, it would likely attract considerable viewership. Given his close association with Chicago Sky standout Angel Reese, it may have taken NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal a bit more time to appreciate Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. Most fans, along with some media commentators, dedicated a significant portion of the 2024 WNBA season to contrasting Reese and Clark as they vied for the WNBA Rookie of the Year award, which ultimately went to Clark. This rivalry, intensely discussed, was downplayed by both players as being without substantial basis. It was not until September, nearing the termination of the WNBA regular season, that O'Neal reassessed his views and offered commendations for Clark during an interview with Sports Illustrated. Clark executes every aspect correctly, O'Neal remarked at that time. I had previously not commented on her because Angel is my girl, but I can genuinely assert that Caitlin Clark is authentic. I observe her play, and while I aim to be frustrated, she consistently delivers the correct pass and makes the appropriate play. Opponents attempt to challenge her physically, yet she rarely complains. She is exceptional, even in her early stages. She is the genuine article. Much respect to her and her family regarding her upbringing and her style of play. Reese's inaugural season concluded prematurely due to a wrist injury, while Clark experienced a significant ascent in her profile as she decisively secured the Roddy Award. Clark established an impressive portfolio in her debut professional season, culminating in her recognition as Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press and Time Magazine's 2024 Athlete of the Year. During a recent discussion with TMZ, O'Neal was inquired about Clark attaining such prestigious recognition from Time magazine, to which he expressed mild approval. "Congratulations to her, she's an outstanding player," O'Neal stated. He promptly transitioned to commend some other notable WNBA players who contributed significantly to the league's rising popularity in 2024. Caitlin, and my girl Angel certainly attracted a great deal of attention to the WNBA, O'Neal continued. However, we must not overlook the other remarkable talents within the league. Asia, Wilson, Sabrina, Ionescu, Diana, Taurasi, all of the women currently excelling are finally receiving the acknowledgement they merit. Caitlin Clark has responded to NFL fans who alleged she was merely following trends in her support for the Kansas City Chiefs by emphasizing that her loyalty dates back to her childhood. The 22-year-old star of the Indiana Fever was introduced to the Chiefs by her father and has been a supporter long before Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes elevated the team's prominence. Speaking on the New Heights podcast, Clark informed hosts Jason and Travis Kelce, "I apologize, Jason, I hail from the Midwest. There is an image that has been circulating from a few years back when I appeared on Peyton and Eli's Monday night program, wherein I am dressed in a complete Chiefs uniform. I have relatives in Kansas City, and I was raised in Des Moines, Iowa, which is merely 3 hours away from Kansas City. Thus, they are the nearest NFL team. My father was an avid Chiefs supporter during my childhood, so some may perceive me as a fair-weather Chiefs fan. I assure you, I have been a loyal enthusiast since before the arrival of Patrick and Travis. We were committed fans, and now, of course, the considerable success you both have achieved has made it immensely enjoyable for us." To challenge Clark, Travis requested that she identify her favorite player from her younger years, to which the WNBA star promptly mentioned former tight end Tony Gonzalez. She remarked, "We would attend approximately one game each year while growing up with my cousins in Kansas City, and we still attempt to go. We attended the Christmas Day game last year. I believe the previous year you might have participated on Christmas Eve, perhaps. We were at that game, and we were seated outdoors. My toes felt like they were about to freeze off, and my fingers were nearly numb. I cannot comprehend how you all perform in such frigid conditions, yet it is enjoyable." The Butler Bulldogs are currently struggling as a team that began the season with promise. They are presently grappling to avoid the bottom of the standings, having narrowly managed to evade the lower tier. Fans are attributing the team's challenges to a notable absence from courtside. The absence of assistant coach Connor McCaffrey's girlfriend, WNBA star Caitlin Clark, has not gone unnoticed by supporters. The Butler Bulldogs fan base not only supports the team but also regards a particular lucky charm. Caitlin Clark, a guard for the Indiana Fever and WNBA star, is currently in a relationship with the Bulldogs' assistant coach, Connor McCaffrey, and she regularly attends games. Many fans believe that her presence at the game serves as a positive omen for the team's performance. Clark was unable to attend a Bulldogs game against Houston on December 7, 2024. Regrettably, this event aligned with the Bulldogs' ongoing 5-game losing streak, from which they have not yet fully recovered. Their most recent defeat against Villanova, where the latter secured a 73-65 win over the Bulldogs, has exacerbated the prevailing tensions. Supporters speculate that a possible incident involving McCaffrey and Clark could account for her absence from the sidelines, which has resulted in the assistant coach facing criticism from fans who are displeased with Clark's absence during the game. Although such notions lack substantiation, it is an enduring narrative that sports fans, and superstitions are inextricably linked. However, it is not solely the absence of McCaffrey or Clark that has incited frustration among fans. They are also questioning the coaching strategies of Thad Matta. The entire coaching staff, including McCaffrey, is under scrutiny due to the team's lackluster performances. There is hope that the situation will improve for both the team and the coaching staff, otherwise, conditions may only deteriorate. It is becoming increasingly difficult to discuss the WNBA without addressing the impact Caitlin Clark has had with the Indiana Fever this season. Despite her team's winless record, Clark continues to garner significant attention on a nightly basis, captivating the sports community and boosting viewership nationwide. It is certainly advantageous that Clark frequently engages in noteworthy plays. Whether she is executing a three-pointer from the logo or spending moments disputing with referees, content emanating from the Caitlin Clark sphere has been readily available. During the Fever's matchup against the Seattle Storm on Wednesday night, an incident occurred involving what appeared to be an obvious and potentially hazardous foul by Clark that ultimately went uncalled.